Welcome to Burst Daily News. Early this morning, one of Hamas's top leaders, Ismail Haniyeh, was killed in an airstrike in Tehran, Iran's capital. This event has further escalated the existing tension between Israel and Iran and has caused a significant stir in the region. The details of Haniyeh's assassination operation reveal how Israel plans and executes such operations. The foundation of the operation was extensive intelligence work carried out by Israel's Mossad agents over several months. Agents closely monitored Ismail Haniyeh's movements and communication networks both in Gaza and internationally. Intelligence gathered using satellite images, electronic listening devices, and other advanced technologies played a critical role at every stage of the operation. Haniyeh's daily routines, his meetings, and the security protocols he followed were analyzed in detail. This information allowed the identification of Haniyeh's weak points and the selection of the best time for the operation. The timing of the operation was determined by the information that Haniyeh would attend the inauguration ceremony of Iran's new president, Mossad Pezeshkian. This event presented a rare opportunity when Haniyeh was away from the tight security measures in Gaza. Mossad analysts meticulously examined Haniyeh's travel route, accommodation arrangements, and the security measures to be implemented during this period. The decision was made to execute the attack when Haniyeh was in a less protected area in Tehran. Once the intelligence was confirmed and the optimal time determined, Mossad coordinated with the Israeli Air Force to carry out the operation. This collaboration involved numerous detailed planning sessions. While Mossad provided real-time intelligence updates, the Israeli Air Force turned the operational details into a strategy. Elite units of the Israeli Air Force learned the exact location of Haniyeh's residence and the best flight routes to avoid Iranian air defense systems. The operation was carried out using advanced technology. F-16 fighter jets were equipped with precision-guided munitions, ensuring the target was destroyed with minimal collateral damage. The aircraft were outfitted with the latest navigation and targeting systems. Thanks to stealth technology, the jets avoided radar detection, maintaining the element of surprise until reaching the attack point. Early in the morning, the F-16 jets took off from their bases and headed towards Tehran. The flight path included low-altitude flight and electronic countermeasures to avoid radar systems. Upon reaching the target, the jets coordinated an attack on the building where Haniyeh was staying. Precision-guided munitions hit the building accurately, resulting in the deaths of Haniyeh and several other Hamas officials. After the successful execution of the attack, the jets quickly left Iranian airspace. Evasive maneuvers were employed to ensure the pilot's safety and minimize the risk of retaliation. The entire operation, from the initiation of the attack to the jets' safe return to their bases, was completed within a few minutes, demonstrating the operation's efficiency and precision. Following the operation, Mossad and the Israeli Air Force conducted a comprehensive analysis to assess the mission's success and derive lessons for future operations. Satellite images and electronic interceptions confirmed that the target had been successfully neutralized and that collateral damage was minimal. The success of the operation was attributed to the perfect integration of intelligence, technology, and tactical execution, once again highlighting the operational capabilities of Israel's defense forces. The responses from Iran and Hamas were quite severe. Iran's leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, strongly condemned Israel in a statement made immediately after the attack and promised revenge. Khamenei declared, "Israel will pay dearly for this attack," signaling a harsh retaliation against Israel. Senior Iranian officials echoed similar sentiments, calling the attack on Iranian soil a great insult and announcing preparations for a response. Iranian media shared images of Haniyeh in close contact with the Iranian president in Tehran, emphasizing Haniyeh's importance as a guest to Iran. Hamas also threatened serious retaliation against Israel following Haniyeh's death. In a statement by Hamas's military wing, it was said, "This attack will take the war to a new dimension and will resonate widely in the region." Hamas declared that Israel's attack was a significant insult to them and vowed to avenge Haniyeh's death. Hamas's leadership announced that they were preparing new attacks against Israel. This event has also reverberated widely in the international community. The United Nations Secretary-General condemned the attack in a statement. urging restraint and emphasizing that the escalation of tensions in the region must be avoided. The European Union made a similar statement, declaring that such acts of violence undermine the peace process and must be stopped immediately. The European Union called for the parties to return to the negotiating table and highlighted the importance of protecting civilians given the humanitarian situation in the region. The United States also used diplomatic channels to urge restraint from all parties following the incident. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin stated that all parties must act responsibly to prevent further escalation of tensions and emphasize the need for diplomatic solutions. Austin said, "I do not believe war is inevitable. There is always a path and opportunity for diplomacy," calling for a peaceful resolution. Haniyeh's assassination could deeply affect the balance of power in the Middle East. While Israel aimed to deal a significant blow to Hamas with this operation, it also drew reactions from other armed groups in the region. Hezbollah condemned Haniyeh's killing and announced that it would retaliate against Israel. This situation increased the risk of new clashes on the Lebanon-Israel border. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah stated that Israel's attack would not go unanswered and that they would launch attacks on Israeli targets in Lebanon. These statements further heightened tensions in the region, signaling the possibility of new conflicts. Similarly, how Iran would respond to this attack is a matter of great curiosity. A direct military operation by Iran against Israel could further intensify the conflicts in the region. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard announced that they were preparing to avenge this attack and planning a major retaliation against Israel. These statements raised concerns about the possibility of a new war in the region. Haniyeh's death could also lead to significant changes within Hamas's internal structure. Haniyeh was one of Hamas's top leaders and played a crucial role in the organization's strategic decisions. His death might create a leadership vacuum within Hamas and impact the organization's future strategies. Following Haniyeh's death, Hamas's military wing held emergency meetings to determine the new leadership structure and developed new strategies to maintain the organization's operational capacity. After Haniyeh's death, there was also significant tension in Gaza. Hamas officials in Gaza announced that they were preparing new attacks against Israel. The people of Gaza mourned Haniyeh's death and held protest demonstrations in the streets. During these protests, slogans against Israel were chanted, and calls for revenge were made. Hamas militants in Gaza accelerated their preparations for new rocket attacks against Israel, raising concerns about the onset of a new wave of conflict in the region. In response to Haniyeh's assassination, Israel increased its security measures. The Israeli government put security forces on high alert to prepare for potential retaliatory attacks and raise the security level across the country. The Israeli public is anxious and apprehensive about possible attacks following Haniyeh's death. Residents of Israel's southern regions, especially those near the Gaza border, were warned to be prepared for new rocket attacks. Haniyeh's assassination could alter the course of the ongoing conflicts between Israel and Hamas. Hamas may launch new attacks to avenge Haniyeh's death, potentially leading to widespread conflict in the region. Israel, in turn, will not hesitate to retaliate against such attacks and may conduct new operations in the area. This situation could further intensify the long-standing conflicts in the Middle East. The international community must engage in intense diplomatic efforts to resolve this crisis and mediate a peaceful solution between the parties. Particularly the United States and the European Union should strive to restart negotiations between the parties. The United Nations should call for an immediate ceasefire to prevent the deepening humanitarian crisis in the region and urge the parties to return to the negotiating table.